Second. So, okay. And we are live.
A warm welcome, dear audience, to this much awaited rendition of the trial scene from Shakespeare's The Merchant of Venice.
Recording in progress.
This is a virtual performance of the Bard's play, an attempt from our side to expose the students to the beauty of Shakespeare's drama. The students who portray the trial scene are from the Art of Communication course of Camp K12, and the diversity of our classes is portrayed by these children who hail from all parts of India as well as abroad. These children are doing Shakespeare for the first time, and so please encourage them and enjoy the various nuances that they all portray in the varied characters. I now introduce the cast of the play in alphabetical order. Antonio, the merchant, is portrayed by Harsh Pandey of Lucknow. Harsh is 10 years old, studying grade 5, and he is the merchant.
Hello.
Basanio, the merchant's friend, is being rendered by Granthik P. Dikshit. He's 10 years old, studying grade 5, and he is from Bengaluru.
Hi.
Aro Verma is the Duke. He is studying grade 8 and is 12 years of age and hails from Chennai.
Hello.
Graciano, the sarcastic wit, taunting Shylock, is Anand Lakshmikant. He's studying in grade 8. He's 13 years old and is from Pune, Maharashtra. Nerissa is the maid who helps her mistress in the trial, and the portrayal is done by Shivani Shrishti Lakar, grade 6, age 11, Assam.
Hello.
Portia, the lawyer, is played by the talented Ishanvi Jain. Ishanvi is the lawyer Portia. She is 11 years old. She studies in grade 6, hails from Durgapur, West Bengal.
Good evening.
Celerio is portrayed by Rayansh Pathak, age 9, and studying in grade 5. He is from Thane, Maharashtra.
Hi.
Shashrik Chauhan leaves us mesmerized by his rendition of the shrewd Shylock. He is 10 years of age and is studying in grade 5 in Hong Kong.
Hello.
I know you all are waiting excitedly for the scene to unravel before your eyes. But before we can allow the scene to be played out, I would like to narrate the story that takes place leading to the trial scene. Here goes the story. A young Venetian, Bassanio, needs a loan of 3,000 ducats so that he can woo Portia, a wealthy Venetian heiress. He approaches his friend Antonio, a merchant. Antonio is short of money because all his wealth is invested in his fleet, which is currently at sea. He goes to a Jewish money lender, Shylock, who hates Antonio because of Antonio's anti-Semitic behavior towards him. Shylock, nevertheless, agrees to make the short-term loan, but in a moment of dark humor, he makes a condition. The loan must be repaid in 3 months, or Shylock will exact a pound of Antonio's flesh. Antonio agrees, confident that his ships will return in time. Because of the terms of Portia's will, all suitors must choose from among 3 caskets, one of which contains a portrait of her. If he chooses that, he may marry Portia, but if he doesn't, he must vow never to marry or court another woman. The princes of Morocco and Aragon fail the test and are rejected. Bassanio chooses the lead casket, which contains her picture, and Portia readily and happily agrees to marry him. Meanwhile, 2 of Antonio's ships have been wrecked, and Antonio's creditors are pressurizing him for repayment. Word comes to Bassanio about Antonio's predicament, and he hurries back to Venice, leaving his Portia behind. Portia follows him, accompanied by her maid, Nerissa. They're disguised as a male lawyer and his clerk. When Bassanio arrives, the date for the repayment to Shylock has passed, and Shylock is demanding his pound of flesh. Even when Bassanio offers more than the amount in repayment, a 10 times more amount, Shylock is intent on seeking his revenge on the Christians. Ladies and gentlemen, the much awaited The Merchant of Venice opens. Please applaud as the curtain rises to showcase the performance of my novice artists. Scene 1, Venice, a court of justice. Enter the Duke, the Magnificos, Antonio, Bassanio, Gratiano, Celerio, and others.
What? Is Antonio here?
He is ready at the door. He comes, my lord.
Ready, so please your grace.
I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void, and empty, from any dram of mercy.
I have heard your grace had taken great pains to qualify his rigorous clause. But since he stands abjured and that no lawful means can carry me out of his endless reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and am armed to suffer with the quietness of spirit the very tyranny and rage of his.
Go on and call the Jew into the court.
Shylock.
Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadst this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act, and then 'tis thought thou show thy mercy and remorse more strange than is thy strange apparent cruelty. Now exacts the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, and thou wilt not only lose the forfeiture, but touched with human gentleness and love. Forgive a moiety of the principal. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
Possess your grace of what I purpose, and by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You'll ask me, why rather choose to have a weight of Cain flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats?
This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
What? Wouldst thou have a serpent sting thee twice?
I pray you, think your question with the Jew. You may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the mainsail bear his usual height. You may as well use question with the wolf why he hath the ewe bleed for the lamb. His Jewish heart. Therefore, I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no further means, but with all brief and plain conveniency, let me have the judgment and the Jew his will.
For thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6.
What judgment shall I dread doing wherein 6 parts and every part a ducat? I would not draw them, I would have my bond.
How shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none?
What judgment shall I dread doing no wrong? You have among you many a purchased slave, which like your asses and your dogs and mules, you use in abject and in slavish parts because you bought them. Shall I say to you, let them be free? Marry them to your heirs? Why sweat them under burdens? Let their beds be made as soft as yours, and let their palates be seasoned with such wines. You will answer, the slaves are ours. So do I answer you. The pound of flesh which I demand of him is dearly bought. This is mine, and I will have it. If you deny me, fly upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand for judgment. Answer, shall I have it?
Upon my power, I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor who I have sent for to determine this, come here today.
My lord, your stay is without a messenger from the letters from the doctor. New come from Padua.
Bring us the letter. Call the messenger.
Enter Nerissa, dressed like the lawyer's clerk.
Came you from Padua, from Bellario?
From both, my lord. Bellario greets your grace.
Presenting a letter.
Why dost thou whet your knife so earnestly?
The forfeiture from the bankrupt there.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul hast you. Thou makest thy knife keen, but no metal can. No, not the hangman's axe. By half the keenness of thy sharp envy, can no prayers pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast wit enough to make.
Oh, be thou damned, inexecrable dog.
Till thou canst rail the seal from off my bun, thou with defence thou longest to speak so loud. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall. To cureless ruin, I stand here for the law.
This letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he?
He attended here hard by. To know your answer, where you'll admit him.
With all my heart.
Enter Portia, dressed like a doctor of law.
Give me your hand. Come you from old Bellario?
I did, my lord.
You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the court?
I am informed thoroughly of the cause. Which is the merchant here, and which the Jew?
Antonio and old Shylock, who both stand forth.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you, as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful?
On what compulsion must I? Tell me that.
Quality of mercy is not strange. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven. Upon the place beneath, it is twice best. It blesseth him that gives, and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest it becomes. The throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty. Wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings? But mercy is above the sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. An earthly power doth then show likest gods, when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer God teaches all to render, the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow the strict court of Venice, must need give sentence against the merchant here.
My deeds upon my head. I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes, here I tender it for him in the court. Yeah, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I'll be bound to pay it 10 times or over on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart, to do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of his will.
It must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. It will be recorded for a precedent, and many in error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be.
Daniel come to judgment? Yeah, Daniel. Oh, wise young judge, how I do honor thee.
I pray, let me look upon the bond.
Here, this is most reverend doctor. Here it is.
There's thrice the money offered thee.
An oath, an oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why? This bond is so feat, and lawfully by this the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off, near which the merchant's heart. Be merciful, take thrice the money, bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid according to the tenor, it doth appear you are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your exposition hath been most sound. I charge you by the law. Wherefore, you are a well-deserving pillar. Proceed to judgment. By my soul, I swear, there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stay here on my bond.
Most heartily, I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
Why then, thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
Oh, noble judge! Oh, excellent young man!
For the intent and purpose of law, heartful relation to the penalty, which should appear with due upon the bonds.
This is very true, O wise and upright judge. How much more elder art thou than thy looks?
Therefore, lay bare your bosom.
Aye, his breast. So says the bond. Doth it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart. Those are the very words.
So, are there balance here to weigh the flesh?
I have them ready.
Have I some surgeon, Shylock, on your charge, to stop his wounds, lest he do bleed to death?
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed. But what of that? It were good you do so much for charity.
I cannot find it. This is not in the bond.
You merchants, have you anything to say?
Not little. I'm armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I'm fallen to this for you. Commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you. Speak me fair in death. And when the tale is told, bid her be judged whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repair but you that you shall lose your friend. And he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'd pay it presently with all my heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all. I sacrifice them all here to this devil to deliver you.
Your wife would give you little thanks for that, if she were by to hear you make the offer.
I have a wife whom I protect and love. If would she were in heaven, so she could entreat some power to change this cursed Jew.
This well you offered behind her back, the vision make else an unquiet house.
Pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it, and the law doth give it.
Most rightful judge.
And you must cut this flesh from off his breast. The law allows it, and the court awards it.
Most learned judge, a sentence, come prepare.
Tarry, a little, there is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are, a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh. But, in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice.
O upright judge, marked you, O learned judge.
Is that the law?
Thus thou shalt see to act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured, thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
O learned judge, marked you, a learned judge.
I take this offer, then pay the wrong thrice and let the Christian go.
The money.
Soft! The Jew shall have all justice. Soft, no haste. He shall have nothing but the penalty.
O Jew, an upright judge, a learned judge.
Therefore, prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less, nor more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou cut more,